Hello, this is Akiko Sudano at stampinginthemeadows.com from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to make a a card today with the Flowering Tulips bundle. And oh, okay, I'm looking for. Hold a second. I'm not seeing. Maybe here it popped up. I'm looking for my stream and it's not coming up on my computer. Oh well. Hi Chi, thank you so much for joining me. So I'm going to be making a card that's similar to this. This is my sample card. But before I get into my card, let me show you because I did receive my new annual catalog this week, and this is the annual catalog that is going to be coming in. Our pre-order started on Friday, and I did place my order for some of the products. I also ordered catalogs for all of my customers. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me. And on the cover, it has one of the new bundles that is called Hues of Happiness. And so, actually, no, the suite is called Hues of Happiness. And I believe the stamp bundle is called Happiness Abounds. And it's got some pretty stamps and dies, and the stamps are more like lined images that you can color. And but I think with this card they used, it's got a coordinating set of designer series paper that also, the dies also cut out the designer series paper. And I think this is what they use for this. And another thing that you notice that they have this little die, that bundle also has a set of dies that you can use to make these little things that come out of paper that fits in a spiral bound notebook. Happy Sunday, Karen, but we're not sunny here today. It has been rainy all morning and it's still kind of cold. One other thing that I wanted to show you before we get started was they've unveiled the new in colors for demos, and they prepared this pretty little graphic to show what the colors are, and they are Sweet Sorbet, which is kind of this this pinkish color, but I think it's going to be very a little bit on the bolder, darker side, and then Parakeet Party, which is kind of the green, Tahitian Tide, which is kind of a turquoisey blue over here, then Starry Sky, which is kind of a dark periwinkle, and the Orchid Oasis, which is a little bit lighter, and it seems like those are the shades, the right shades. I'm not sure of I printed this out, and I'm not sure how good my printer has captured all of the different colors, and then you're getting it transposed to you, so hopefully it'll be okay. But I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that I get my pre-order in during this week, and I can start to get my catalogs ready to ship out to everybody, and I can start to play with some of the new things. So, but before then, we have the Flowering Tulips bundle, which is what I'm going to make today's card with. And let me go ahead and get started with that. So this is, I'll leave this right here. This is the Flowering Tulips stamp set, and you've got lots of different tulips here. Beautiful beautiful sayings in here, sentiments. And then it's got the coordinating dies, and you've got dies that, and it's a photopolymer set, so that you've got a two-step stamping ability, so that you can make two different shades of tulips. And then you've got the little inside, and I'm going to be using this in today's card so I can show you. And then we've got all of the different dies, and you've got the dies that cut out each of these stamped tulip images and dies that cut out the stamped leaf images. But then also you've got special dies that will make a dimensional tulip, and we're going to be using those today, as well as this cute little border die, and then this little background die here. That's a cute thing too. So let's first start by, I've already taken a piece of basic white and I've cut it out. Hi Debbie, thank you so much for joining me. And I've cut it out into a scalloped rectangle using the scallop contours dies, and this is the second largest one. And I cut a panel of the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper, and this is just so pretty. If you love tulips, it's just like they're all over the place, and so it's like in so many different colors, and it's just beautiful and happy and perfect for this time of year. Our tulips haven't started coming up yet, but hopefully soon. And the weather for us has just been cooler than we would like. And no, it is not sunny today, Karen. It is not sunny today. We had rain. But this is very pretty. It's got all the pink tulips and then the coral tulip with the white ones. And then it's got the pool party background. And so that's why I've put a pool party card base here. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is, instead of putting in a white, for this tulip, I cut it out of white cardstock and I sponged it with Petal Pink. But instead, today I'm going to skip the sponging and I'm going to make a Poppy Parade tulip. And I'm going to use one of the different styles of tulips. There's three of them. There's this one, and then the other one is another wide tulip. And it uses these three dies. And one of the things about these dies also is that, I don't know if you can see my screen, is that it does a little bit, as you die cut it, it does a little bit of embossing. So you've got texture on the tulips, which is really nice. And I've seen so many people who have done a beautiful job of sponging these tulips, or using, I don't know if they're using the sponge daubers or if they're using blending brushes, but they're just beautiful, beautiful. So there's just so many different things, but this is probably the simplest way to build a tulip. And what I'm going to do here is I want to have a little bit of dimension, so I'm going to take some of my little half dimensionals, and I'm going to use my icky scissors, and I'm going to cut them to get into teeny weeny pieces here to give a little bit of extra lift behind this piece here. So I'll be putting this on with both dimensionals and liquid glue, so that I have dimension behind the tulip there. I get one more for the other side. And then pull it off. And the thing I like about dimensionals is that I think they're the best. They're the best because a lot of the products that you have for sticky foam squares and stuff like that, they are just too wide. And yet dimensionals, I think, are perfect. They're a little bit thinner than the other products, and and I think the cards that they make are just so much nicer because it just is so much nicer. So I'll stick this on so that the little bit of dimensional will allow the top part of that to flare open, and the bottom will stick down on my on the the bottom part. Now with this one, I have turned this over, and this got like a 3-part. So I've got I think that's settled good enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold this side over like this, and then this side over like that. And I could put dimensionals on the inside here too, but I think I'm going to try skipping them for now, because I think that this is going to be able to stay closed and yet still have a bit of dimension here. So, and if I tuck that under there, let's see here. Let's put our liquid glue on there, and we'll just hold that real tight so that it glues down, and skip putting a dimensional on here. So I think yeah, that's okay. It's you want to play with the bottom here, whether or not, I don't know. I had been trying to get that to go even. I don't know if you can see, so that this top petal goes even with the bottom, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's going to be fine like that. And then I'll fold that one over like that, and I think that's good enough. So I will put a little bit of glue right here and fold this guy over and hold that down. And this is sticking up fine without having that extra dimensional in there. So this is the flower I'm going to be using instead of the sponged white flower. And I think that that's going to look really pretty on this panel. Okay, so this is done, and now on this one, on the leaves, I also did the sponging on the leaves, but I cut these leaves out of Pear Pizzazz, and I think I'm going to just leave them plain. In the background here, these look like they were they're different colors here. On this one, I sponged, I cut them out of Pear Pizzazz, and then I sponged it with Old Olive to get a look that was similar to this. But I don't think that, I think especially without doing any sponging on this particular guy, I think I'm going to just leave it there. But I think that's bold enough. Now I want to and let me show you the dies for the stems. For the dies, you've got these are the 2 leaves dies that I cut out, and these leaves go well with can be used to cut out the stamped leaf images. And they have 2 stem dies, and I'm using the skinny stem die right here. This is another stem die that also cuts out, it makes a thicker stem, but it can also cut out the stamped stem image that we'll be using for the inside card. So you can, but you can build your tulips however way you want it. Now, since this is so skinny, what I should have done is I should have put this on, put my adhesive strip on before I cut that out. But I am going to use, and I want it to go that way, so I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to use the fine tip glue pen to adhere some, there we go. Just put, just stick some glue on here. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then this has the little needle thing that you can put back into the hole, and then tighten it up, and there we go. So I will position my tulip, and I think I want maybe right here, and I want to put the leaf, I'll put it on the stem, not the leaf, over here and coming out this way. And I'll adhere. Now it's a little bit long, so what I want to do is I'll just pick it up I'm not going to, oops, I'll do that. And I'll just trim it on an angle towards the bottom here. And I don't need that anymore. Okay. So that's good. And then I can go ahead and adhere my tulip on top. And I think I will go ahead and put that on with, well, I was going to put it on with glue dots, but I can't seem to find my glue dots. Oh, here they are. Okay, good. So I will pull it off, and then I'm putting it on the back here, and I'm going to put a couple of them on. Oh, I lost that one. Completely lost it. Well, I'm going to have an accident with something later on. There. I can't find it. Oh well, so I've got my glue dots on there, and I'll just put the stem, put the flower on the top of the stem, and then put it down. There we go. And then I will, there's my glue dot. I will get more glue dots and turn over my leaves and adhere my leaves with more glue dots. And get and the nice thing about these leaves is that I think they look good both ways. So if you want to put the long one on this side, you can put the long one on that side, or you can flip it over and put it on that side. So it's very, very versatile. I think it looks good both ways. But I'm going to put the long leaf on this side, and it's okay for it to go a little bit over the edge there. And then the same thing with the small leaf. You can put it on this side, or you can put it on that side. But I think I can put this one a little bit, maybe a little bit higher. I can tuck that under there, but I want him in the back. There we go. There. So that's simple, and that's that. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll put this on the front of a pool party card base and do this with dimensionals. And let's get this. Done as quickly as we can here. And I haven't done anything about like adhering an embossed or another design of a background for the card base, but you could do that as well. So, okay, so let's put this on the middle. I think that looks good. There. So then for the label, I have a little bit of Petal Pink, and this one I used the labels punch, and I used this side, and this is the punch that it's got the two different ends here, and you can cut 3 different widths of paper, and here I use the 1-inch width, and I cut out both ends with the with this this side of the punch, and it's just so so good because you can use so many different different lengths, and you can customize the length of your label to the length of the sentiment. And I'm using the Just Thinking of You Today sentiment, and I'm stamping this in Pool Party and inking up my stamp. And I'm going to line this up and try to get this straight. I think we're good. There. Close up my ink. And I will put dimensionals on the back of this. You can use that little guy in the middle there. So that's just it's simple, keeps it nice and simple. Move this, oops, over here. Pull everything off. And put our label on. Right here. And then I've made a pretty, using this pretty Pool Party ribbon. I guess the theme here is using the Pool Party background. It really softens the Poppy Parade, the red, and it just goes beautifully with the pinks. So put this on the stem like this, and then these beautiful holiday rhinestones. I'll use this to finish. I'll put one on each side of the label. And that's the nice thing about having this this fancy edge to the punch, because then you can put that. Is that straight? I think it's close enough. And then these beautiful Pool Party and these holiday rhinestones, they're retiring, so I just love them. So if you love them too, just know that they're retiring, and so they aren't in the new catalog. And so I think that's the front of our card for today. And I think that's so you can decide whether you like the white tulip or the red tulip with that card, because I think it goes with both of those. Now for the inside of the card, I have a panel, and I've stamped the tulips, and this time I've used Flirty Flamingo. So I think that one of these is close to Flirty Flamingo. So I pulled my Flirty Flamingo and I stamped the tulips like that. So let's go ahead and recreate this on our panel here. So I've got this, and this is good because it's going to show you how how lovely these stamped tulip images are. And let's see here, the first one. Okay, so the first one, you've got a two different. Thank you, Karen. You've got two different stamps, and I'm going to use them both in Flirty Flamingo, and one of them I'm going to stamp off. So the first one, I think this is the first one. It's got it's got this little piece right here that is kind of the edge. So I kind of look at that as that's an outline of my tulip. So I'm going to take this and put this in this corner. So I've got a tulip in this corner, and then ink this up, and then put this little tulip down here, another one right here. So those are the full strength tulips, and there's 2 of them. And then this is going to be the stamped off tulip. So I'll ink it up and stamp it off here, and then line it up. And I'm going to line it up by using this petal with this petal. And then once I get that one oriented, then it's just a matter of fudging it to make sure that it's approximately with everything else. And when you stamp this, you're going to find some places where nothing has stamped, so it's still going to be white, which is still fine. Okay, so this one, so that one is way up there. So I want to get that up there. I think, yeah, something like, there we go. That's going to be there. And then I've got my little, so that's enough of the Flirty Flamingo. And I've got my little tulip little centers here. And I'm going to stamp that in tuxedo black. And then just put it in the center there. And this is the widest tulip. You've got, like, you have 3 different types of styles of flowers with the die-cut tulips. You also have 3 different styles of flowers for the stamped tulips. Now, I think this one, the stem is, I'm not going to put a stem on him because the stem is going off the page here, but this one has, I think I could put a little stem right there. So I'm going to stamp it in Pear Pizzazz, and I will just kind of line this up so that it goes off the page, whatever, just so there's a little bit of a, so that the stem is pointing towards the center of the flower there. And then what I've done is I've mounted just the large tulip stem, and I said before that this could be done either way, and I'll just do it like this. Ink that up in Pear Pizzazz again and stamp it like that. And then on this flower, I'm going to have just a little bit of stem coming up like that, I guess. So it's coming off. Most of it is off, but it gives you a little bit of a green to go with the flower. And I'm going to go ahead and have another strip of this pretty Flowering Fields DSP, and I'm going to adhere this to the bottom. And there's a pink tulip there, and I guess that's kind of a flirty flamingo. And I'll do this with liquid glue. More liquid glue, put that on the bottom. I like all of the papers in this Flowering Fields DSP pack. They're all just beautiful, and so many different colors. So our tulips haven't bloomed yet in my area. We had some snow last weekend. It was like freezing cold temperatures, but luckily the daffodils, they weren't destroyed, so I was happy about that. Okay, so now we'll put the inside of the card on with Stampin' Seal, and we're done. As long as I can get this, there we go. I think the next card I make with this is going to be with the stamped tulips because they are so pretty. And there's the inside, and there's the front of the card. Excuse me. Thank you so much for joining me today. And next week, I'm going to, instead of coming on Sunday, I'm going to come on Saturday afternoon. And I'm hoping that I can have a card for you from using products from the new catalog. I'm hoping that I get my stuff from the new, my pre-order for the new catalog. So I'll be able to give you guys a sneak peek of that. Thank you so much. And I'll have everything on my blog tomorrow, all of the sizes and everything else. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you guys next weekend. Bye-bye.